The warning you didn't recognize. Stop. Don't scroll. Stay here. Because this message is deeper than it looks. Pause. There are moments in life when help doesn't arrive the way we expect. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Stop right here. Sometimes help comes quietly. A delay. A feeling. A person saying one sentence at the right time. Pause. A door closing. A plan not working. Stop. Something small. That later makes sense. Pause. But in the moment, we call it inconvenience. Stop right here. We call it bad timing. We call it frustration. Pause. Because we don't recognize it. Stop. Not yet. Pause. And that's what happens to many people. Stop right here. They ask for guidance, but reject it when it arrives in unexpected form. Pause. They ask for clarity, but ignore the signs that slow them down. Stop. They ask for protection, but become angry when a path gets blocked. Pause. Because they wanted comfort, not correction. Stop right here. Think honestly. Has there ever been something in your life that didn't work out, and later you realized it saved you? Pause. A missed opportunity. A canceled plan. A delayed decision. Stop. At the time, it felt wrong. Pause. Later, it made sense. Stop right here. Because not every closed door is loss. Pause. Sometimes it is protection. Stop. Not punishment. Not rejection. Pause. Redirection. Stop right here. And maybe right now, you are looking at something the wrong way. Pause. Maybe what frustrated you was trying to help you. Stop. Maybe what slowed you down was giving you time to think. Pause. Maybe what left was making space for something healthier. Stop right here. Because perspective changes everything. Pause. The same event can feel painful or meaningful, depending on when you understand it. Stop. And understanding often comes later. Pause. That's why patience matters. Stop right here. That's why reflection matters. Pause. Because if you judge every moment too early, you miss the lesson inside it. Stop. And right now, this may be one of those moments. Pause. Something you called a setback may actually be guidance. Stop right here. Something you resisted may have been wisdom. Pause. Something you pushed away may have been exactly what you needed. Stop. So ask yourself honestly. Pause. What in my life did I reject too quickly? Stop right here. Because that answer may change how you see everything. Pause. And once you see differently, you choose differently. Stop. And that is where transformation begins. If you stayed until this moment, then this message reached you for a reason. Because not everyone is ready to reflect. Not everyone is willing to admit that maybe what they called failure was actually protection. Maybe what they called delay was wisdom. Maybe what they called loss was redirection. Take a moment. Think honestly about your life right now. What have you been fighting that may actually be helping you? What have you been resenting that may be teaching you? Because once a person changes perspective, their whole path can change. If this message truly connected with you, backhand index pointing right, like this video. Backhand index pointing right, subscribe for more messages like this. Comment what you honestly felt. And share this with at least 5 people who may need this reminder today. Sometimes the right message at the right time can change someone's direction forever. And if you feel aligned with supporting this work, you'll see a QR code on your screen, along with a link in the description and pinned comment. We are currently working toward a $3,000 weekly goal for a meaningful purpose. Some may choose to support with $20. Others $50. Some $100. And those who can, even $500. Every contribution matters. And even if you can't give right now, sharing this message can still create impact. Because when the right people come together, what feels heavy becomes possible. Part 2. The sign you misunderstood. Stop. Don't scroll. Stay here. Because this is where things become clearer. Pause. In part 1, you realized something. Not every delay is loss. Not every closed door is rejection. Stop right here. Sometimes, what feels frustrating is trying to help you. Pause. But now, you're about to understand something deeper. Stop. The sign you ignored was not random. Pause. It had purpose. Stop right here. Think honestly. What happened recently that didn't go your way? Pause. A plan that suddenly changed. A conversation that felt uncomfortable. Stop. A person who stepped back. Pause. Something that interrupted your direction. Stop right here. At the time, it felt annoying. Pause. Unfair. Stop. Confusing. Pause. But what if it was necessary? Stop right here. Because sometimes, life interrupts what would have hurt you later. Pause. It slows what would have rushed you into the wrong place. Stop. It blocks what looked good, but wasn't good for you. Pause. And in the moment, you can't see that. Stop right here. Because you only see what you wanted. Pause. not what you needed. Stop. And that difference creates frustration. Pause. Because desire says, "Why is this not happening?" Stop right here. But wisdom asks, "What is this trying to show me?" Pause. That question changes everything. Stop. Because now, you stop reacting. Pause. And start understanding. Stop right here. Think again. That situation you called a setback. Did it also create distance from something unhealthy? Pause. That delay you hated. Did it give you time to think? Stop. That person leaving. Did it reveal something important? Pause. Because often, the hidden benefit comes later. Stop right here. And now, you may be at that later moment. Pause. The moment where pieces start connecting. Stop. Where what once felt painful begins to make sense. Pause. Because now, you can see more clearly. Stop right here. You're not inside the emotion anymore. Pause. You're outside it. Observing it. Stop. And observation creates wisdom. Pause. Because once you step back, patterns appear. Stop right here. The same kind of mistakes avoided. The same kind of lessons repeated. Pause. The same kind of protection disguised as inconvenience. Stop. And that realization is powerful. Pause. Because now, you stop calling everything bad. Stop right here. You stop assuming every delay is against you. Pause. You start asking better questions. Stop. Questions like, pause. What was this moment protecting me from? Stop right here. And that answer can heal resentment. Pause. Can replace confusion with gratitude. Stop. Can turn pain into perspective. Pause. Because once meaning appears, the struggle changes. Stop right here. And maybe right now, that meaning is arriving for you. Pause. Maybe the thing you fought was the thing helping you most. Stop. Maybe the sign you ignored was exactly what you needed. Pause. And now, you're finally ready to understand it. Stop right here. Because timing matters. Pause. Sometimes lessons only make sense when we are ready to receive them. Stop. And maybe that time is now. If you stayed until this point, then this message is already working inside you. Because reflection is uncomfortable, but powerful. Most people only ask, why did this happen to me? But growth begins when you ask, what was this trying to teach me? That one question can change your life. Take a moment today. Think about one thing that disappointed you. One delay. one loss, one closed door. And ask yourself honestly, could that moment have been protecting me from something I didn't yet see? Because if the answer is yes, then your pain was not wasted. If this message truly connected with you, backhand index pointing right, like this video. Backhand index pointing right, subscribe for more deep messages. Backhand index pointing right, comment what you honestly felt. Backhand index pointing right, and share this with at least 5 people who may need this today. Sometimes one message, at the right time, can save someone years of confusion. And if you feel aligned with supporting this work, you'll see a QR code on your screen, along with a link in the description and pinned comment. We are currently working toward a $3,000 weekly goal for a meaningful purpose. Some may choose $20, others $50, some $100, and those who can, even $500. Every act of support matters. And even if you can't give today, sharing this message can still create impact. Because the right words at the right moment can change everything. Part 3: What it was really saving you from. Stop. Don't scroll. Stay here. Because this is where the deeper truth appears. Pause. In Part 2, you started to understand something important. What looked like a setback may not have been against you. Stop right here. It may have been protecting you. Pause. But now, you're about to understand from what. Stop. Because protection is not always obvious. Pause. Sometimes it protects you from people. Stop right here. Sometimes from timing. Pause. Sometimes from your own rushed decisions. Stop. And that last one is the hardest truth to accept. Pause. Because we often believe we know exactly what is best in the moment. Stop right here. We feel certain. We feel ready. Pause. We feel convinced that if one thing happens, everything will improve. Stop. But certainty without perspective can be dangerous. Pause. Because what feels right now may create pain later. Stop right here. Think honestly. Was there something you wanted badly that later would have created stress? Pause. A person who looked right but wasn't aligned. Stop. An opportunity that seemed perfect but came with hidden cost. Pause. A decision you were rushing toward without full clarity. Stop right here. That happens more often than people admit. Pause. Because desire can be loud. Wisdom is usually quiet. Stop. Desire pushes. Wisdom pauses. Pause. Desire says, take it now. Stop right here. Wisdom asks, have you looked closely enough? Pause. And maybe that sign you ignored was wisdom trying to slow desire down. Stop. Trying to protect you from urgency. Pause. Trying to save you from a version of life that only looked good from a distance. Stop right here. Because distance hides detail. Pause. Things seem better before you live them. People seem clearer before you know them. Stop. Choices seem easier before consequences arrive. Pause. And that is why pauses matter. Stop right here. Why delays matter. Why discomfort can matter. Pause. Because they give you time to see. Stop. And seeing clearly is priceless. Pause. Because once you see clearly, you stop chasing what would wound you. Stop right here. You stop forcing what isn't aligned. Pause. You stop calling urgency destiny. Stop. And that realization creates peace. Pause. Because now you understand something deeper. Stop right here. Not everything you lose was meant to stay. Pause. Not everything delayed was meant to happen then. Stop. Not everything denied was meant to harm you. Pause. Some things were simply not right. Stop right here. And now, you may be ready to accept that. Pause. Not with bitterness. Stop. With maturity. Pause. Because mature understanding says, maybe I was being guided differently. Stop right here. And that thought alone can heal a lot of pain. Pause. Can soften resentment. Stop. Can turn confusion into gratitude. Pause. Because once meaning appears, the wound changes. Stop right here. And maybe right now, meaning is appearing for you. Pause. Maybe what you called rejection was redirection. Stop. Maybe what you called loss was protection. Pause. Maybe what you called delay was preparation. Stop right here. And if that is true, then your story is not broken. Pause. It is unfolding. Stop. Differently than expected. Pause. But not against you. Stop right here. And that changes everything. If you stayed until this moment, then something inside you is beginning to soften. Because one of the hardest things in life is accepting that what we wanted may not have been what we needed. But healing begins there. When you stop asking, why didn't I get it? And start asking, what did not getting it save me from? That question can free a person. Take a moment today. Think about one loss, one delay, one thing you still resent. And ask honestly, could there be wisdom hidden inside that pain? Because if there is, then your story changes today. If this message truly connected with you, backhand index pointing right like this video. Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe for more deep messages. Backhand index pointing right. Comment what you honestly felt. Backhand index pointing right and share this with at least 5 people who may need this today. Sometimes the right message reaches someone exactly when they are ready to heal. And if you feel aligned with supporting this work, you'll see a QR code on your screen, along with a link in the description and pinned comment. We are currently working toward a $3,000 weekly goal for a meaningful purpose. Some may choose $20, others $50, some $100, and those who can, even $500. Every act of support matters. And even if you can't give today, sharing this message can still create impact. Because healing often begins with one sentence heard at the right time.